Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about crossplay, and crossplay is often celebrated as the great unifier in gaming and breaking down barriers between platforms and allowing players to connect like never before. But what if this feature, promoted as a win for gamers, is actually something far more insidious? The disparity between how crossplay works on PlayStation 5 and PC and Xbox hints at a deeper issue. Why can PS5 players disable crossplay while PC and Xbox players cannot, and why does this difference feel more like a calculated move than a mere design choice? But before we dive into today's topic, I just wanted to take a moment to say a huge thank you for all the support lately, because seriously guys, it means a lot to me, and we're on our way to 2,000 subscribers, and I never imagined that this journey would be this much fun when I started, and you've all made it such an incredible experience, and I can't thank you enough for that. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you enjoy the content, be sure to hit that subscribe button because it really helps out. And if you're already subscribed, don't forget to leave a like because it helps me know you're enjoying what I'm putting out there. Also, feel free to drop a comment below because I always read them and I love keeping the conversation going. So let's make this space about sharing ideas, discussing today's topics, and building a great community together. And with that said, let's dive into today's video. And first, let us start with Microsoft's dominance, because Microsoft's grip on the gaming ecosystem is undeniable. From Windows to Xbox to Game Pass, the company holds unique control over how games are played and consumed. And we got Windows as the backbone. Nearly all PC gaming happens on Microsoft's operating system, and this gives them a lot of control over updates, security, and crucially, data collection. We also have the Xbox ecosystem, and by integrating Xbox Game Pass across PC or console, Microsoft ties its platforms together, potentially making PC players a captive audience in their crossplay strategy. And we got the cloud gaming expansion. Microsoft's cloud investments further strengthens their influence, potentially creating a future where crossplay and cloud gaming are permanently linked. And this dominance raises a critical question. Is crossplay, as implemented, less about connecting players and more about locking them into an ecosystem where Microsoft dictates the terms? And to me, the whole concept of crossplay feels unnecessary, right? Especially when you think about how gaming worked just a few years ago. And back then we didn't have crossplay and no one seemed to complain about PC. And PC players played against other PC players, console players faced console players, and that was simply how it worked. And if someone chose to play on PC, it was because they wanted advantages that platform offered, and the same logic applied to consoles. Which brings me to a fundamental point, because platforms have their own unique strengths and weaknesses, and that's part of the choice you make when deciding where to game. And consoles, for example, typically don't offer the same level of performance as a PC, and you're often capped in terms of frame rate, and there's a limit to how much you can tweak or improve the experience. But on PC, however, the options are endless. You know, better latency, network optimizations, hardware upgrades, you name it. And that's why so many people buy a gaming PC, right? And still use a controller, because it gives them the best of both worlds, using a controller with unmatched performance. And I know consoles allow mouse and keyboard support, but they were never designed with that in mind, right? And it's more of a workaround than a proper feature. Meanwhile, a controller on PC feels natural because the platform is inherently more adaptable. Looking back, games like Fortnite used to let you disable crossplay, if I'm not mistaken, and even before that, you simply played within your platform's ecosystem, right? Crossplay was later introduced to make matchmaking faster and to allow friends across platforms to play together, which makes perfect sense. But the issue is, why is that PS5 players can opt out of crossplay, but PC and Xbox players can't? And this selective control feels incredibly unfair, especially when the playing field isn't balanced in terms of performance and customization. Which ties directly into the bigger issue I'll explore next, but it all comes back to one question. If crossplay isn't optional for everyone, then what's the point? The PS5's exclusive ability to disable crossplay sets Sony's platform apart, granting its players a level of control that others lack. And while this feature seems like a win for consumers, it highlights deeper disparities between platforms. So if PS5 players can avoid these challenges, why can't PC and Xbox players do the same? And I don't know if this disparity is simply due to licensing agreements or if there's a deeper motive at play. You know, for instance, I don't know if Microsoft's decision to enforce crossplay could stem from a desire to maximize data collection and monetization across platforms. You know, I'm just saying. And crossplay might might be the perfect vehicle for corporate manipulation if you consider the following possibilities. First off, we have data harvesting, and by forcing PC players into crossplay, companies like Microsoft can collect vast amounts of data about player behavior, preferences, and spending habits. And this data could then be used to fine-tune matchmaking algorithms or in-game systems to maximize frustration and push microtransactions. Second, we have monetization of inequality, because mixed platform lobbies create natural imbalances, right? Because PC players might dominate with superior hardware, or console players might feel disadvantaged. The same goes for aim assist on consoles. And I don't know if these frustrations could be deliberately engineered to encourage spending on solutions, so to say, right? Like some performance boosts or exclusive content, if you get what I mean. And last but not least, we have manipulated experiences. If AI-driven bots are present in lobbies, they could subtly influence player performance, creating artificial highs and lows that keep players engaged and spending. And the PS5 crossplay toggle and the forced crossplay for PC players might not be accidental, and instead they could point to a deliberate strategy to exploit players on a massive scale. And this goes hand in hand with consumer manipulation. By controlling crossplay settings, companies can nudge players towards specific platforms or ecosystems where they have greater control over monetization. Then we got the artificial frustration, because if crossplay is designed to create imbalanced or frustrating experiences, it might be part of a larger plan to drive player engagement through anger and addiction, two powerful motivators for microtransaction spending, which might indicate like a scam. You know, when one platform is protected, like the PlayStation, while another is exposed, for example PC and Xbox, it suggests an uneven playing field deliberately designed to maximize profits. At first glance, crossplay seems like a win for gamers, a way to connect and compete across platforms. But when we dig deeper, the disparities in implementation, particularly between PS5 and PC, for example, in Black Ops 6, reveal a more troubling reality. Crossplay might not be about unifying players, but about manipulating them, harvesting their data, creating frustration, and driving them toward ecosystems where companies have more control and profit opportunities. And the question isn't just whether crossplay is fair, it's whether it's being used as a tool for corporate exploitation. And if so, what seems like a feature might actually be a weapon, one aimed directly at a gamer's wallets. And also to all the people out there, specifically those of you who sprint into the comments just to tell me to stop playing Black Ops 6 or to quit complaining about it, I'm not playing this game, I never did. I only booted it up for experiments, and guess what? I realized it was trash the moment these artificial systems kicked in. You know why? Because I didn't open up my wallet and showered the game with microtransactions. And most of you already know this, but for the record, the last Call of Duty I actually bought was back in 2012 when Black Ops 2 came out. And that was the true OG era, back when skill and fun weren't behind a paywall, right? I've been playing this franchise for over a decade, and yeah, I care about it, and that's why I make these videos. But let's not pretend the last decade has been anything but a slow motion train wreck for Call of Duty. And I mean, it's not only just Call of Duty. So many games have turned into soulless cash grabs, you know, and it's painfully obvious why, and yet some people just don't get it and they don't see the bigger picture. So I talk about it, right? I break it down in a way that doesn't rely on raging or clickbaiting, because that's not my style, and the subscribers who've been here since day one, they know that, and they know I care about games, not gimmicks, and that I'm here to have these conversations for the sake of the medium we all love. And I mean, if you don't like the videos, you don't have to watch them. You can click off at any time. You don't even have to leave a comment. And I mean, you know, you could stick around, maybe learn a thing or two. It's up to you, but I don't really care anymore. And that's it for today, guys. If you liked today's video, leave a like, and always drop your thoughts in the comments below. I will answer them as soon as I can. And with that said, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.